Hello, this is LS540, and today we're going to talk about services. And of course, like in this class, this I call this class a seminar. This is a graduate seminar, and I think the idea was that you provide as much information as I did. So all of us in this class, we had the opportunity to learn from each other. And what I tried to do with the scans that you did was to see what you were able to explore in your community. And I think in under those terms, it's one of the classes that I have enjoyed more because normally the relationship that is established in the classroom, either online or face to face, is the professor or the teacher providing information to the students. Well, in this case, it was the other way around. You, the students, were providing information to me and to your fellow classmates, which I think it's a great idea to teach. And all and plus, I want to add that it wasn't information that comes from books or journals. It was information that you gather at, by doing the scans on issues, on the community and the collection and the services. The only requirement that I had for the class where you had to read and write was the literature review, which is the last assignment. But the other requirements, the scans, we made four of them. You were able to gather the information by observing, by interviewing, by going to the library, etc., by going to the community, by immersing yourself in the community. So I think that was a great experience. And if I teach this class again, I will use the same methodology. And I will try to mimic that methodology in other classes that I teach. Because books and websites and encyclopedias, they are going to be always there. So we are lifelong learners. So we can go back and read. However, when you do a practical research, when you carry out your own research and collect and gather the data yourself, you're learning something that it is not written before. And I think that has a value. So it's not one thing or the other. We have to do in education. I think we have to do both, and that's what I try to do in the class. We had a textbook, we had a literature review, we have my presentations, but also we have the discussion with the data that you gather, your primary data. So that was to me that was a great experience. But we're here today to talk about services. And I was I was not surprised. That's not the word, because I was expecting to see that libraries do not provide many services for diversity. And my inclination is that if you're taking this class, it's because you are interested in diversity, one way or another. And if we take the concept or the definition of this class about diversity, as we understand it in the context of this class, is we are all part of diversity. So what I will encourage you to do in the future as professionals is to provide services for your community. And it may not be your community at once you are working in a library and you observe your community, make sure that you can see that even though there may or may not be a cultural or ethnic diversity, there is still diversity in your community. And so try to, in your library, school, public, academic, or special library, try to uh, develop not only collections but also programs and services for that diversity. I'm not going to go to every thing that I discover in your services scan. The presentation is there so you can download the PowerPoint, or even better than to download the presentation, make sure you read your classmates' scans. Um, because it is very interesting. Again, it is not something that it is written in a journal or in a book. It's something that you did yourself. Uh, there are a few things that I discovered by reading your scan services. For example, there were some programs, especially what I saw in, and of course, you know, we were only a few in this class, so we couldn't cover, you know, every place in the U.S. We cover few places, few cities, few towns, few states, and we see that mostly we have services for the Spanish-speaking community. Also, we have services for people with low education, and they want to go and get, for example, their GED, and they may plan to go to college later. We have services for, of course, for children, and I think that's a constant that you read in every of your scans. So children, it's actually, and that's I think that's great. By the way, I'm not criticizing that. On the contrary, I think we have to encourage children to come to the library because those are our future patrons. So we have a lot of programs and services for children and for teenagers too, which is great. Because if we have the teenagers doing gaming, reading, playing games, even dancing in our libraries, we know they are doing something creative. Okay, so and that's very important, especially in cities, in the inner city, where there are many other social issues and problems. If the kids are in the library or if the kids are in school, they have a chance to succeed in life. So I think that's very important. Another service that is a constant too, it's computer literacy, and that means teaching and showing people how to use computers, how to use the internet, how to use emails, and also to use some programs such as Word, PowerPoint, Excel, etc., which I thought that was interesting too. Of course, these are services that work for everybody. But and this is also a constant. We see that public libraries offer services. Most of the services that they are offering is for people who don't have the means to, or the education, which is interesting too if we see it from a different point of view. So libraries don't serve wealthy people, apparently. They serve people who has needs, economic needs, or educational needs, or health needs, which is fine too. It's an observation that I'm making, and I never thought about that. Libraries offering services for wealthy people. So libraries, I guess, because they are public institutions, we have to offer services and collections to those who have less. Okay, but that's an observation that it's. I think I never thought about that before. Now, of course, other services that are being offered to the general population is ebooks and e-readers lending programs. That is happening here in Clarion Free Public. They have a couple, I don't know how many e-readers, and they lend you that reader with already a collection of ebooks. So you don't have to purchase the reader, or you don't have to check out the books because it comes with a collection of books. Another very interesting service was cultural programs, and of course this has to do with ethnicity. So there are some libraries that you scan that are offering programs for Chinese or Spanish or Indian or Jewish populations, and they have like cultural programs. They may have food, they may have stories, then they may talk about religion, they may have special dates where they can meet there and share with the other people in the community about their own culture. Notary services too. This is especially important, home delivery of resources, and that has to do with people who, because of old age or because of lack of transportation or lack of movement, they need their resources or to be delivered to them. So that's a very important service. Let's see what else I was able to identify. Of course, many programs and many services for children, for teenagers and older adults. It seems to me that I also, and this is an observation, that young adults, let's say from 25 to 50 or 25 to 60, don't have special services. Okay, libraries seems like, and I'm talking about, of course, public libraries here. It seems like librarians and libraries have specialized on children, teenager, and older adults. Maybe because that's the population that visit the library. Again, this is not a critique. This is an observation. Okay. So please make sure that you review this PowerPoint and make sure that you read your classmates' scans. I was delighted to read the 4 scans that we did: the issue scan, the community scan, the collection scan, and the services scan. And I ran this class again, and let me repeat myself, as a grad seminar. Okay, the idea was that everyone in the class, because we are all grad students, are able to contribute, to give a contribution in terms of information and knowledge to the rest of the class. And that's how I saw this class, and that's how I wanted to teach this class. Of course, there are other classes where we fall back to the relationship of professor and student. But in this class, because I consider every one of you a diverse person, I was looking for your input from your own point of view and the point of view of the community where you are. And the only way to get that was to have you do your own scan. I didn't want you to go and read what services are there. That was the final assignment, a literature review on diversity. But most of the class was spent on interacting about what is out there in your community. So I think that was a great experience. Okay, this is all for services. Again, please read your classmates' scans, all of them, especially the last one, services, if you haven't done it. Okay, thank you.